but my thinking is if there's not that higher standard, which is a perfect standard, right? Everything else is whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Everything else is a preference. Everything else is whatever I deem it to be, right? Mm-hmm. If I think it's good to steal 3 paper clips, but not 4, guess what? That's my standard. So therefore I'm good, right? So therefore I'm okay. I guess from a humanist perspective, how do you, again, I'm not questioning because I'm really wanting to, just to understand, mm-hmm. How do you avoid the slippery slope? Because in my mind, if there is, obviously if there's a perfect standard, right? So, it's clear cut. Everything else to me becomes arbitrary, right? It's wherever you want to draw that line. How do you combat a slippery slope of moral decay, mm-hmm. if that makes sense? And Absolutely. Not to say, well, look, if you don't believe in God, you can't be a good person. There's a ton of people. There's actually people who don't believe in God that are probably acting way more moral or better than a Christian. So I'm not saying that, but to me, from a logical point of view, everything becomes arbitrary. And how do you avoid that slippery slope into a moral decay? Or maybe it's a loaded question. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you partly answered it with your realization or the acknowledgement that you don't have to have religion to be a moral person. That permeates this country. I don't know other countries because I don't live in them, but that permeates this country, and it really what's the word I'm looking for? It annoys me. It disappoints me how many people actually, to their core, believe that. So they think, okay, there's a bunch of Christians and a bunch of atheists. These atheists are going to slip into this moral decay, as you describe it, which I think is a great description. Right. But we Christians have these stopgaps. We have this anchor that will prevent us from sliding down. I reject that. It's been looked at. This one has been looked at worldwide, right, and actually nationwide. If you just want to stay in the objective world on objective grounds, there have been plenty of studies that show that United States that tend to lean more secular versus Bible Belt states. Most metrics you're going to find that are better as far as healthcare, literacy rate, teenage pregnancy, murder rates, corruption in politics, any objective metric that you can measure, secular states in these United States do better. And secular countries around the world actually do better in these objective metrics. So there is evidence, all right? And this is evidence that has been gleaned for 50 years, 100 years. I don't know how far they go back. So it's not just like snapshot. It's a chunk of time. So that's objective. And I know in the conversation, objective.
I would say more objective.
You what?
I would say it's more objective. When you say it's objective, it gives it an absolute. And I would
objective. Right. Point taken. Yeah, it is a more objective. Is more objective evidence to push back against this argument that atheism or humanism, secular humanism, tends to slip into moral decay. So there is evidence against that.
Right, so
anecdotally, the people I hang out with is mainly secular humanists, atheists. It's a great group of people. No group of people is gonna. Every group of humans is gonna have malcreants and saints and good. Sorry, right. People that do good. So it's in all groups of people. But I totally get what you're saying, because again, I grew up a Christian. I know these feelings. I know that you worry about that, but at the root of all of this anxiety that people have, most people have in this country, is that if you don't have religion, you're you cannot be a good person, or if you are, you can slip easily. So I reject that personally, just subjectively and objectively. I reject it, and I feel comfortable doing it.
Right. So, well, I'm probably going to agree with everything you said. One, I really don't know the metrics, but I'm gonna give you those, and I'm gonna agree with you with those. That's really not the nuance of my question, because I do agree with you. I don't think you have to be a Christ follower, or a God believing person to be good, right? I think you could have that. My question is, I guess in my mind, it doesn't seem to be consistent thinking with a secular humanist thinking in a secular, and the reason being is because, again, the standard that you hold as a secular humanist is going to be different than the other million people that may be holding the same thing, or 2 million, or however many people, right? So because there is no objective, to me, I would say perfect standard, right? That there has to be the ultimate standard. Everything else, to me, in my mind, is arbitrary. Where do you draw the line, right? And so, again, I guess what I'm saying is, are you, in my mind, and I want someone to tell me otherwise, because, again, I want to see the other side. In my mind, yes, a secular humanist can be good, whatever the term is, however we want to describe that, right? Can be a good citizen, can be all that. That's not what I'm questioning. What I'm questioning is, or I'm trying to understand is, I don't think you're being consistent with what you truly hold, if that makes sense. Because if what you truly hold and you take it to its end conclusion, it's not consistent. It seems to me it's not consistent with your beliefs.
Let me,
that makes sense.
I'd like to jump in and contribute, because there's a couple of things I want to clear up. First off, I was raised a Catholic, so I wanted to clear that up, because it sounded like Sam may have thought that I wasn't when he mentioned that Will was raised in the church.